Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm JiaS, Fortified Productions. Now, if you cannot tell from the title down below, or from that beautiful thumbnail, or from this beautiful picture right here, and yes, it's still beautiful, that this is my 6th annual 10 best anime shows that I've encountered / watched. And just looking back, like, I've been doing this for 6 years, and damn, that's a long time. And let me just say, they're my best 10. Not top 10, best 10. I know I'm repeating myself like from the year before, but they're basically all my #1 shows. And there's one thing I like to mention, is that since there's only a few shows that caught my attention this past year, I don't really have quite the top 10 list. So, I will be mentioning some classics that I consider #1 as well, you know, to fill in that top 10 list. And with that being said, let's get right on to the list. Coming up as #1 is Rurouni Kenshin. And man, this is for sure a classic. After a long and bloody war, swords and killing are basically outlawed, or in this case, banned. So within the shadows, survivors of the revolution wait for a chance to seek vengeance for the people that did them dirty. But to prevent that, a former government assassin, he used to be known as Batusai the Manslayer, but now he's just the lone wanderer, where he travels the land and just finds the chance to start all over. I can't exactly say when I watched it, because it is, again, a classic show. But I remember watching this back in middle school, high school, like around that time frame. Like, I'm really impressed. At the time, I was like, damn, that's a show. And just reflecting over it, oh my god, anime has definitely revolutionized. Coming up as my second best is The Tower of God. And let me just say, this is a new show. 2020, son, you know what I'm saying? And this is a Crunchyroll original. And I gotta say though, I've seen a lot of Crunchyroll originals. They kind of sucked, but Tower of God, okay, you know what? That's a show. That's definitely a must watch. If you don't know what the Tower of God is about, it's basically about a boy named Bam who's like trapped underneath this mysterious tower, and he befriends this girl named Rachel, and then one day Rachel enters the tower leaving Bam behind, and Ben was like, are you kidding me right now? So he decides to go into the tower as well. That way he can try and reunite with Rachel, because without Rachel, he's basically nothing. Along the way, he does meet up with some allies that will actually help him progress going up the tower. The story's on point, animation is on point. It did originate from a webtoon, which is pretty dope. I'm glad they actually made this into an actual anime show, because my god, or in this case, the Tower of God, too clean. So let's talk about the next show, which is JiaS the Jaeger. And I don't know if I'm butchering that name, but if you understand what I'm trying to say, that's good. I actually watched this on Netflix, by the way, and it's basically about a group of vampires that left China and went to Japan. And so these vampire hunters, aka the Jaegers, follow them to Japan as well, because, you know, vampires gotta die. Among the Jaegers is a man named Yuli, who is in fact a werewolf, trying to seek out revenge on these vampires because, you know, they destroyed his home. And since he is a member of the royal family, he is on a mission to bring back the holy relic, which is the Ark of Sirius, because apparently it's a gift from God, and whoever possessed it basically got these crazy like powers. So to sum things up, Yuli and the Jaegers are basically in this deadly battle with the vampires, just so they can retrieve the relic once again. And since there is a lot of action, of course, animation has gotta be on point, fight styles on point, lighting, like the whole shebang. Is that even a word? I don't know. But yeah, if you're watching this video right now and you want to see JiaS the Jaeger, be my guest. Coming up as #4 is Devil is a Part-Timer. Now, I know it's not exactly a show I would put in my best 10, but you gotta keep in mind, Not a lot of great shows out there. So in other words, I did think long and hard. And you know what? This show is pretty good. I definitely recommend it. So when this devil got defeated by a hero, he retreats into a whole new dimension, or in this case, a whole new world. And let's just say that this world is modern day Tokyo. And since he's in this new world, he does somewhat can't really use his powers. And he doesn't have any world-like skills. So based on that title, you know he's now a part-timer. This devil is forced to flip burgers at this fast food joint, and I'm like, okay, you don't see that every day. Along the way, the hero from that world tracked the devil and just straight up went to that world, and now she's working as a telemarketer. So basically everybody in that show are basically all part-timers. They for sure kept it original, they for sure kept it real, which I, do appreciate. And low-key though, I really do wish they made another season, cause, hey, show's still clean. Okay, but that besides the point. Let me tell you guys what comes up as number 5, and that is Yona of the Dawn, son. Yona of the Dawn. Another somewhat classic show that I definitely recommend. So within the story, the main character, Yona, is basically heir to the throne because she's basically next in line. At the time, she is gonna turn 16, so she wants like a wonderful day. So she expects a dope day, because hey, sweet 16. So on the night of her birthday party, something dreadful happened. She witnessed something shocking, something not expected. Now I know none of that makes sense, but you gotta keep in mind, I'm not the spoiling type. So if you wanna go watch the show, be my guest, you'll know what I mean when you watch it, okay? Like, damn, so many plot twists. I do gotta say that though. You'll definitely know why this joint is clean. And for sure it's definitely a must watch. Like, legit. This show got my respect. No doubt about it. And that brings me up to number 6, and that is that time I reincarnated as a slime. Now, you gotta keep in mind, holy god, that's never been done before. So clearly, this show is original. It's clean, it's unheard of, and I like it, son. 100%. So it starts off with this corporate worker, I don't know exactly what his name was. And all of a sudden he encounters this random attacker and, just basically gets stabbed. And out of nowhere, he gets reincarnated to this whole new world, or in this case, an alternate world, as a slime, based on, the title. And he goes by the name of Rimuru. So what does he do? Well, I'll tell you. He basically makes a world where he welcomes all the races, monsters, humans, etc. And I definitely like the message that it's trying to bring. Cause, hey, it definitely got my respect. But there are some parts where I just feel iffy about. Like, I would go into further detail as to why I have these critiques. But I do have to admit, story's on point, animation's on point. Like, I can't hate on that. Like, it's for sure good. Just look at the past anime shows that I've witnessed, and you can clearly see there's a huge difference. Speaking of differences, let me tell you guys what comes up as number 7, and that is Megalobox, son. Like, yo, that right there is real anime. Guaranteed. No doubt about it. This is why I put it in the list, because that is a show. In this desolate land, there's this city that divides the rich and the poor. And there's this one guy that will not reveal his name, but he does go by the name of Junk Dog. And he gets into these fights, or in this case, megaloboxing, and he wants to prove everyone that he can be a champion. And how does he do it? Well, of course, he has to defeat the reigning champ. And these matches that he has to participate in, it's basically a rich man's game. So he legit has to, participate illegally. Animation's for sure on point. The story is 100% on point. And damn, they for sure kept it real. Like, straight up. Best show I've seen at that time. And that brings me up to number 8, which is Sing Yesterday for Me. Holy God, this is definitely a turn of events, because that show as well, clean, keeping it real. If you love it, you better list it. Long story short, this story is basically about 4 people living their daily lives, and they're trying to incorporate that you should look forward more than looking back, and they're basically living their best lives, even if it's like through some hardships, through turmoil. It's so damn good. I know that the anime series came out last year, but the actual story, the actual manga or whatever, like, it came out way before. Like, this show should be considered a classic. Like, the love it's been given, the humanity, like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the story. I will treasure it, I will respect it, and that is why I consider this as one of the best 10. No doubt about it. Coming up as number 9, Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, I don't know if I'm butchering that name. If I am, I do apologize. If I'm not, okay, that's good. I did mention this is definitely something I respect as an anime show. Like, if you recall from the previous streams and whatnot, like, this show, again, has my respect. So basically the story talks about this ordinary high schooler named Yuji who has tremendous strength, and then one day he has to save a classmate from these curses, and in order for him to do so, he has to eat a finger. Not just any finger though, Sukuna's finger, because apparently Sukuna's like the god of curses or whatever. I may be wrong, and I'm definitely for sure butchering that name, but it's in the show clearly. So yeah, and since he is getting guidance from these sorcerers, Yuji is basically a curse exercising another curse. And right now I'm gonna make a ridiculous comparison because I want to throw it out there. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen reminds me of Demon Slayer in some cases. Like, think about though, like, you might as well just say Jujutsu Kaisen is like the 21st century of the Demon Slayer, and I'm like, oh damn. And with that being said, let me tell you guys what comes up as number 10 on my list. And that show right there is The Great Pretender, son. I would lean back, but this chair doesn't do it. But so I'm just gonna do this. Like, oh my god. That is an anime show. That is a true anime show. No doubt about it. So to summarize this story, it's basically about this great Japanese swindler, Edamura. He tries to con a man named Laurent, which Laurent is known as a world-class crook. I mean, like, I would go into further detail with this, but it's like definitely all over the place, but that's what makes it so great. It gets you thinking. It really gets you thinking. Like, oh my god. And thank god I saw this on Netflix because I binged the heck out of it. Like, no doubt about it. Like, straight up. So again, I would for sure talk hours about this show to you guys, but we're here to summarize. And if you do want to see the show and get what I'm trying to say, oh, please watch it. Please. This is a show. But I'll say this though, it came from the minds that created 91 Days, Fulakuli, and Attack on Titan. And I know there's more shows, but I know for a fact it's mainly those shows. And oh my god. If Black Lagoon had a baby with Death Note, this would be the show. Like I mentioned before, it keeps you thinking. It's like all over the place. Storyline is 100% on point. Animation's on point. Oh my god. Like, why can't we have more shows like these? Like, straight up, why can't we have more shows like these? So based on my reaction, this show kept it real. Like, straight up. Or in this case, like, it's the real deal. It's for sure recommended. I really want you guys to watch it. It's mind-blowing. It's like, this show is everything to me. Alright, well, I told you my 10 best anime shows, so I sure hope you enjoyed this video. And please, the shows that I mentioned, watch them. You're not gonna regret it, like straight up. So with that being said, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. With that being said, I'm out. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you all next week of a brand new video. And as always, stay fortified.